This really demonstrates the broadest role that we expect to play as a business. So for 75 years, we've been taking care of people's health. And in today's world, it's becoming increasingly clear that we can't look after people's health if we don't also address the causes which are harming the health of the planet, because we recognise that the two are interlinked, and we can't have healthy people in an unhealthy planet. I have three core priorities. The first one's about establishing the roadmaps that get us to net zero by 2040. A big part of that is setting up the reporting and the governance. We also need to identify the reduction strategies for the emissions that we directly control and making sure that we hit our interim target of a 40% reduction in those by 2025. And then also starting to tackle our very complicated and sizable Scope 3 footprint. The second priority for me is championing and driving innovation throughout the organisation. Innovation is the pathway to solving some of the biggest challenges we have in sustainability and sustainable healthcare. And we had a program called Eco Disruptive, which we launched last year, which primarily a talent program is really focusing on how do you deliver sustainable solutions for the business. We want to take that forward into 2022 and really pivot it to deliver for the strategy specifically. The third big focus for us is scaling up a program which is called Healthy Cities. It's hugely successful and really drives a clear connection for people or for our people, our customers, our communities between their own physical and mental health and the health of their local environment. So we see sustainability as a key enabler of our broader corporate strategy. And this requires sustainability to be fully embedded into the way that we run our business, which means that everybody at Bupa needs to own this agenda and feel inspired and equipped to take action. And so the goal really is to make sure that every function, every business leader is able to embed sustainability in the work that they deliver. And also we recognise that there's a big focus on measuring the output of the actions we want to take. So there's a real focus on reporting, ensuring that decisions are made on the basis of performance against both sustainability metrics as much as our financial and customer metrics. And also we need to make sure that the data is all being brought together in one coherent place. So there's a big role for the CFO and the finance function in terms of bringing that together. And indeed, we see the CFO and the CSO as partnering to help drive and lead this agenda. As a result, at Bupa, what we've done is set up a sustainable finance function to partner with sustainability, and that ensures we bring rigor and a broader spectrum of data to our decision making at all levels. And we've also set aside some significant funding to really focus up on delivering our sustainability ambition, and that is co-owned by both our CFO and also our CSO. I think managing the complexity of the challenge is the first big challenge we face. We need to take a systemic approach to how we ensure that we deliver on our sustainability ambition, which means we need to synthesize really complex and quite disparate data sets across our organisation. And a good example of that is how we start to focus in on delivering our Scope 3 reduction ambitions. Handling that kind of data is really critical to making sure that we drive better decision making, improving the risk and opportunity identification and management. The other area that's a real challenge for us is, sustainability and particularly decarbonisation is highly technical. Making sure that we can source the skills in this space in the market is a real challenge. I mean, we're quite lucky to have a very strong team here at Bupa that blends SMEs in this space and also broader leadership to really deliver tangible results. But it is a real challenge in terms of some of the markets in which we operate to identify that skill set and bring it in-house where we can. I think the first step is to understand the scale and the urgency and the sophistication of this agenda. As I say, it's a very complicated space. It's a technical space. And I think also the ability to bring an interdependence between sustainability and other strategic projects, so digital enablement, growth, customer experience, whatever that happens to be, making sure that you can interweave sustainability through those projects is also key. And I would also say there's a real opportunity for external consultants to bring best practice. I think we're most proud of running and changing. It's a bit of a mantra of our CEO, but we've been able to define, submit, get our net zero ambitions published. We've received SBTi validation of our decarbonisation targets. We've pivoted our reporting and portfolio management of our businesses to make sure that we're sort of taking sustainability into serious account. We are also driving decarbonisation in our own operations at the same time. And that's all in spite of the global pandemic and the challenges of operating across 2,500 locations across a very global portfolio. I think that's been super important to deliver. And making sure also the voice of the customer comes through. We need to be customer centric in the way that we deliver our sustainability ambition. And that's really been critical in terms of mobilizing the organization behind the strategy, driving this sense of excitement and opportunity that the sustainability strategy provides.